Hello there, Katarn here, coming back with an unboxing and review of the Build Your Own R2D2 kit from Fanhome. I'm super excited for this. Owning my own personal astromech droid has always been a dream of mine, and now that dream is finally within my grasp. So the cool thing about this R2D2 is that once you finish building it, it's actually a half-scale, fully articulated and functional astromech droid that you can control with like an app on an iPad or a smartphone, so I can't wait to do that. However, it's going to take a long time. So the way that this Build Your Own R2D2 kit is going to work is that it's kind of like a subscription service in that Fanhome sends you a package every month containing 4 assembly stages, which you then put together until eventually, voila, you have a whole R2D2. You get 1 package per month containing an unknown number of stages. It's going to vary. For example, the first 2 packages only contain 1 stage respectively, and then the third package contained 3 stages. So who really knows? I'm putting a link in the description to this video to the Fanhome website along with a promo code if you want to try and build an R2D2 along with me. I'll be releasing videos every month as I complete the next stages, so you can stay tuned for that. I am a little bit daunted by the prospect of like wiring electronics and doing all of the nitty-gritty that it takes to build a fully functional remote control model, but I've been told that all of the assembly stages are really simple and pretty small. So with that in mind, let's find out. Starting with the unboxing of stage 1. Do it! Alright, let's take a look. Here we go. Alright. Fanhome. Build up models. Oh, this is cool how it folds out like this. Alright, and there's our R2D2 right there in the middle. Dear modeler, welcome to Fanhome. We are glad you joined us, and are sure you will love this completely addictive journey into build-up modeling. In every package, you will receive parts of the model and magazines with easy-to-follow instructions. The magazines also include amazing articles, interesting facts, and plenty of hints and tips. As they say, sharing is caring, and we would love to hear about your journey. Use the hashtag #Fanhome when publishing images to social media so we can see how your very own Star Wars R2D2 model is coming along. Enjoy the journey, Fanhome team. You got it, Fanhome. I'm really looking forward to doing this, actually. And I'll be posting all kinds of pictures and videos of this. Alright. We've got several magazines in here, too, which is really... Oh, this one folds out into a poster. Building the Galaxy, Droid Directory, Understanding Robotics, Assembly Guide. All 4 of these will be inside every issue of this. That's cool. And when you fold it... Nice. Okay, so this is, it says on the bottom here, this is the actual size of the model, shown actual size. Very cool. And if you look, we're actually getting to see all of the different abilities that it's going to have when it's finished being built. Okay, so it's going to have a video and still camera, extending arms, a microphone and a speaker, status displays, a rechargeable battery. Ooh, a pop-up lightsaber. As in Return of the Jedi, R2D2 has a hidden extra, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, which will pop up on demand from the pneumatic ejection tube in his head. Remote control app enabled, like I was saying, you can get an app for your smartphone or tablet and actually control this guy. Realistic droid movement. Oh, he's got a projector? What? Just as in the Star Wars movies, R2D2 is able to display holographic messages using a projector which can beam images of Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker onto any nearby flat surface. Well, that's badass. Communication via authentic chirps, whistles, and colored light displays. And he has a one-piece metal dome. R2D2's real metal dome spins just like the original, enabling him to turn to face his owner, looking around his environment, and point his camera and projector in any direction without moving his body. Oh, and look at this. He has an autonomous AI mode where he will behave on his own, or you can give him direct commands. And he's got a Wi-Fi transceiver and receiver and transmitter, of course. Because otherwise, how are you going to use the app? Well, this is cool, just for that poster alone. Awesome. What else we got in that box, though, huh? Alright, issue number 1. These are going to be our instructions for the first stage right here. And then issue number 2 as well. Look at that. We get 2 stages in the first package here. Okay. So it looks like we'll be starting with this one. So issue number 1, you see right here, we've got some electronic pieces. This looks like R2-D2's eye to me. And then we'll be doing issue stage 2, which a section of his leg. Cool. All right, so stage 1 right here. And our instructions. Just taking a quick look at this, I can tell that this is from R2's little ocular region. This right here, you know? It looks like we've got some electronics work to do in this first stage. Build your own R2D2, issue 1. Building R2D2. Inside Star Wars, nice with some McQuarrie concept art right there. And understanding robotics, how LED lights work. Let's take a look. Okay, cool. So it looks like first they give us a little bit of background on the actual R2D2 model, followed by a brief understanding of what it is that we're building in this stage, some LED robotics. And then the actual building instructions themselves. Head and right shoulder. Components provided include elements of R2D2's processor state indicator, faceplate, and the first part of his leg. This is one of my favorite Ralph McQuarrie design pieces for R2D2. This same design was revisited and later turned into Chopper from Star Wars Rebels. Oh, this is cool. This is really cool. Look at all this. And then we get a deep dive on the in-universe specifications of R2D2, an astromech built by Industrial Automaton, the same manufacturer as the Gonk droid, in fact. This is awesome. It's just packed full with awesome lore and behind-the-scenes specifications for why R2D2 is the lovable little Swiss Army knife and wheels that we know him to be. And that is where LEDs come from. Alright, and now we get to the build instructions. Stage 1, R2D2's head and right leg. Okay, so assembling R2D2's processor state indicator. Okay, so step 1, we're going to take this little LED cluster right here and fit it into this mounting, like so. You want to fit it through so that that plug comes out the back there. Okay, and then we're going to be putting the black screws here, here, and here. So you want to twist these screws and make them snug, but you don't want to over tighten them because we got to be very careful that we don't break this LED cluster, which is fairly fragile right there. Twist. So that is probably as secure as that needs to be. And we've got this poking out the back there. Excellent. Alright, so our screws are in place. Next, we're going to undo this twist of wire here, holding the power lead together. There we go. Compare the ends on the power lead. Compare the plugs in each end of the power lead. The smaller plug fits into the socket with the LED cluster, and the other one will be used to connect the cluster to whatever happens in a later stage. So, looking at both these power lead ends, it looks like this one is the smaller of the two. And we're going to put it in here. And it looks like we're going blue, black, red in this direction. So let's just push that in. I don't know if that is supposed to click or not. Seems like it's in there pretty good. I don't really want to put too much outward pressure on it because this housing is pretty thin plastic, so I'm going to call that good and connected. And that right there is a completed stage 1 of the R2 build. This is going to be his ocular implant. There were other pieces that came in this stage, like the upper portion of the leg, another section of the ocular implant, which I imagine will fit on like here somewhere, a smaller piece of that, and a little lens cap. So we're going to be hanging onto these because all of these are going to be involved in later stages. But for now, this is stage 1. See, like I said, they're really small steps. But eventually, we'll have a full-size R2D2. Alrighty, well, that's stage 1. Pretty simple. Not much to it. There are a couple of pieces that were also added in here that haven't become relevant yet, but they will all be used in a later stage. Now it's on to stage 2! Alright, so stage 2. Let's go. The magazine for book 2 also comes with a bunch of awesome background on how he's made. Ooh, we get some info on C-3PO this time around, who is made by Cybot Galactica. Very interesting. But skipping to the directions here. Oh, cool. We get some history of integrated circuits. That's really cool. And this is all real-world educational knowledge, too. This part isn't in universe, which I think is fascinating, and I like that they include that in this. Look at that. We get the anatomy of an integrated circuit. Typically, what you see when you look at an IC is a square or rectangular black case, although there are many other forms, with protruding silver pins. Inside this black packaging lies the IC itself in the form of a die, an intricate layer of semiconductor wafers, copper, and a variety of other materials which connect to make up the components of a circuit. A single die is tiny, 5 millimeters square and 1 millimeter thick, or even smaller. This is too small to be easily connected to other devices. Instead, very small gold wires run from the outer connections of the die to the pins on the edge of the package, and it is these which are connected to the rest of the components or wires in the destination device. Each pin is numbered to indicate its unique location and function. ICs normally use a notch and/or a dot to specify the first pin. The remaining pin numbers then increase sequentially in an anti-clockwise direction. Alright, for this stage, we'll be building R2-D2's right leg. You take a look in here. You can see all the different components we're going to be working with here. We've got the outer plate of the leg itself. Boom. Stabilizer, lubrication fittings, hydraulic arm coupler, cap, hydraulic arm piston, and the hydraulic arm shaft. One of the cool things about building a model R2D2 kit is that you get to slowly identify the in-universe name of the components, of the greebles that the model makers have put on the droid. And then, when someone refers to R2D2's arm in the future, you can be like, oh, what? You mean the hydraulic arm shaft and piston stabilizer? And feel like a smart guy. So, very first, collect all the parts from this issue, together with the right shoulder plate and silver screws from issue 1, as shown. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this stabilizer right here, and we are going to align it with this piece of the shoulder, making sure from the diagram that it is the right way around. You want the skinny section to be facing to the lower part like this. Okay, then we're going to flip it around and we're going to use those silver screws from stage 1 to attach it. And when we screw these ones in, I am still being careful not to over tighten them, but I'm not necessarily as concerned as I was when we were putting the LED cluster inside that mounting because it's a little bit more sturdy. We're not dealing with quite such fragile materials here. And there we have it. There is now a stabilizer inside this shoulder plate. It's basically a completed R2, right? We're already there. So now we're going to take one of the lubrication fittings, which is these small round guys, and we're going to be inserting them. You see there's a little notch on the bottom of that. That corresponds with the notches in here. So there's only one orientation that they will actually fit in that hole in. So it's pretty easy to fit those guys in. You put one up there, and then one down there. Rotate it until you hear the click. And when you flip it over, those will now also be ready for 2 more silver screws. And once those are in place, R2D2's shoulder plate is all greebled out. Look at that. I think the combination of metal parts and plastic really helps just visually tie it all together and make it feel like it's a high quality model, where it's not just like a quick paint job over a single plastic mold. Like, no, these are actual components in here. And the difference shows. Okay, now we are moving forward to the hydraulic piston arm, which is a D-shaped hole on the end here, corresponding with this cap right here. See how those fit? So you're going to want to hold that, and it's going to rest in place. However, we're going to need glue for this stage because it doesn't screw, and it doesn't just stay on there. Okay, so we've glued up the end here. Line it up. Should only need to hold it for, a couple moments here. I want to make extra sure that it actually stays on. Okay. Okay, so once that glue is dried on the lubricator arm, we're going to be attaching it to the back of R2's leg in these 2 holes right here. Taking care to make sure that it is facing the right direction, upwards and not downwards. So we're going to do that. And then we flip her around and we're going to screw it in with some more of the silver screws. And once both of those are in place, you have this. All right. So the small cap right here has a diagonal slot along the side. That is going to correspond with this ridge in here. You see? And so it's going to fit on like that. This is going to be another glue job because there's nothing to actually hold it in place. Press that into the slot just for a few seconds there. And then the glue will set and you'll have this. I'm pretty sure that this is going to go out and then in some sort of like a stabilizer type device because R2 has those on the top of all his legs. To see how R2D's leg will go together, you can take the shoulder plate assembly and test fit the posts, matching it to the back holes on this one. So this will give you a little bit of an idea of what that leg is going to look like in its completed form. Nice in 3D. It's got some good dimension to it. This is shaping up pretty nicely. Now, I will say again that it is worth pointing out that we still have several pieces that have not come into play yet, namely these ones. However, they're all going to be used in later stages down the road. In the meantime, I'm pretty happy with the progress that we've made. With just 2 stages, we've got a pretty recognizable semblance of an arm, parts of an eyeball, and the top of his ocular sensor status display. And that's it for stages 1 and 2. So far, I think this is going really well. Stay tuned. I will be posting a video update every time I receive the next stage of this build. It's gonna be a long one. I can't wait till I have a fully functional R2D2 pal. If you're interested in signing up for a Build Your Own R2D2 kit, I have left a link in the description to the Fanhome website where you can buy one, and I've included a promo code that'll give you a discount. Thanks again. Stay tuned for more stages and tutorials. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, may the Force be with you.